Welcome, 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 everybody, to another episode of the Queensy Live Experience. And I am your favorite host, of course, your favorite. And you know what? Let me tell you this. I have had a week off. I took a week off. I just decided to take a little break and get into me, get into myself, and try to tap in a little bit. Because in order to get closer to you guys out there in the public and in the media and in the world, I have to tap into me and make sure I'm okay. You know what I mean? So I took some time off this week just to evaluate things in my life, figure out if I'm okay, make sure that I'm stable and all of that good stuff. And based on what God is saying, he said that he's okay with me. He's impressed with where I'm at. So we good. We good, okay? But unfortunately, I'm going to start the show with some sad news. A really, really great acquaintance of ours in the Las Vegas area. His name is Curtis Abraham, videographer. Unfortunately, he was murdered about 24 hours ago in the Las Vegas area while sitting in his car at a gas station. And the guy just decided he just wanted to take his life. And it just really goes to show you that, mental stability is very important. You know what I'm saying? Mental stability is very important. And we got to make sure our mind is right, because that was just very senseless. That was a senseless act of violence, of something that he just decided to do. And here it is, this guy, he impacts all of our lives daily. When you're in the media world, you're a family. You know what I mean? And you impact each other. You are close to one another. You're a family. And he took our family member just like that. So we want to send our condolences to his family, and as they get ready to bury their loved one, say to them, our prayers are going out to everyone, and also in the Las Vegas area, all of us that knew him as a brother, and they call him Team No Sleep, and that really, 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 really described him. He was very rambunctious, he worked hard all the time. Every time you saw him, he was passionate with that camera. It's different when you just pull the camera out versus sleep with it. You know what I mean? It's a difference with that. And he slept with his camera. And you know what I mean? So I just want to say, now he's up there filming with the angels, with God, and just, keeping us all, in a good space. So I just wanted to start the show with that. I want to introduce my very, 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 very special guest today that took the time out of his busy schedule to actually chime in. I'm so grateful for this person. He is a painter, author, poet, philanthropist, and based on what I found out, just an all-out great guy, great person, right? I want to welcome my special guest, Mr. Danny Simmons Jr., to the show. Welcome.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to hear about your friend. That's a terrible thing. My heart goes out to his family and to his friends, and offering condolences. Senseless murder like that, it's hard to even grasp why somebody would just walk along and just kill somebody for the sport of it. And like you said, mental instability is one explanation. And we need to check on our people around us to make sure they're all right.
Yes.
People get quiet and you don't know what's going on. And so you need to check and ask people, are you okay? And, to get them some help, because there is help out there for mental illness.
Right. And I want to also introduce my manager, Free, who is also on here today. She and Danny have an up and coming event coming up. And she is going to actually talk about that through the Lily Mae Wren Foundation. She's going to be talking about what they got coming up. Can you go ahead and tell us what's up and coming with you and Danny?
Good morning. Thank you again, Danny. Good morning to you. Good morning, Queen G. Lily Mae Wren Learning and Transformation Center has been established since 2013, and our upcoming event that's currently active, where individuals can go ahead and submit their artwork, 5 minutes video, so that Danny Simmons can judge their piece. And that's for artwork. That's also for poetry. 5 minutes. If it's longer than 5 minutes, you are automatically disqualified. And this is a virtual showcase contest, which is a fundraiser for Lily Mae Wren. And all the things that we do at Lily Mae Wren is to enhance and empower others, which is our reentry program that we have in place. And it is the building bridges of hope for our individuals. And I shared with Danny just this morning that one of my clients just recently purchased his third 18-wheeler. So he's established business, and this is someone who was incarcerated. So that's how excited I am about seeing this.
That's big.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's big.
And then also we have our hopeful youth, and we're finding that our youth are really being challenged with the law enforcement. So civil rights, I'm very huge and big in that. And so we're standing. So a lot of the proceeds will go toward legal assistance, assisting families who are in poverty, but they need legal representation. We have too many youths that are incarcerated for really nothing. A routine traffic violation turns into some either tragic or horrific with time spent in jail. So we have to stop. We have to put an end to that. And also we have our indigent program to help the homeless. And Queen G, I love the partnership for you with that, with your outreach. Yes. So that's
we believe in that. I have something even still to this day going on in Las Vegas, where it's a friend of mine. His name is Andrew. He still feeds the homeless. On behalf of our foundation and our program that we started. Yeah, so we're excited that that's continuing. And man, we've been homeless ourselves in real life, ourselves in person, so we know what that feels like. And we're not just out here campaigning for it. We've been through it. we done pulled up to the gas station and had to bathe, you know what I'm saying, and wash the kids up in the gas station, and that's our only way to use the restroom and all that kind of stuff. We've been through it in real life. So that's why we really campaign for the homeless, because it's not a joke, and it's not an easy phase and an easy part of life to be in. You know what I mean? So we called our program, by the way, Operation Bring Your Best. That was the name of our program out in Las Vegas. It's still continuing. Our friend Andrew once a month gets in the park and he feeds the homeless, and they get out there and give a big spread and give them clothing and all different types of stuff. So thank you, Andrew. God bless you.
That's great. That's great.
Yes. So what were you saying, Free? I want you to finish what you were saying.
No, actually, I'm done. I just wanted to thank you again, Danny, for being so kind to be our judge. He's more than qualified, guys. He's much more qualified.
When you guys,
in a few minutes, we're going to dig into Danny and find out about his career, his life, and some of his accomplishments. Thank you so much, Free, for joining us and telling us about the event that's coming up. And we look forward to, we've already placed our investments into the event. Please, if you guys want to donate, please hit up Free for donations. Please, those are well needed at this time.
Lily Mae Wren, thank you.
Yes.
And I'll
go back in and type it in. Go back in and type it in. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, Danny.
Okay, have a good one. See you later. So Danny, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your patience. Also, all this information going across the table this morning. I want to welcome you to the Queen G Live experience and get into you. So you're a painter. How long have you been painting and doing art?
Wow. I guess there's two answers. I started when I was a little kid, painting stuff at home, but my professional career started about 30 years ago. About 30 years ago. I was about 35, 36. I had been a social worker. And, I decided, since I love painting as a hobby and writing as a hobby, that I was just going to quit my job and go into it full time. And I went by my mother's and talked to mom, and mom said, "Go on, quit your job. Nobody will let you starve." And by that time, Run was out and Russell was out, and I guess she must have meant them because they had money at the time. But I quit the job that I had been doing for about 12 years and still opened a studio. I had taken the downstairs of my house, Brownstone in Brooklyn, and turned it into an art gallery so I could not only paint myself, but to help other artists who didn't have places to show. So that was my first art gallery called the Sanctuary Art Gallery, which was in.
So you stepped out. You stepped out in faith. You stepped out as a new entrepreneur.
Oh yeah.
You stepped out in all kind of ways. What was that transition like? What was that like for you?
There was faith in transition, but I took what my mother said to heart, that nobody was going to let me starve. And I did have a house, a brownstone that had 4 apartments, so my bills were going to get paid. I was set up for it. It wasn't like I just stepped out into the air and hoped somebody caught me. I had safety nets beneath me. But if I couldn't make a bill or something, I could always ask Russell or Joey. But I didn't. Eventually, I didn't have to. But I had this house, and I had bought the house with the idea that I didn't want to have to worry about paying rent. So that's why I bought a 4-family house, and I lived in the first.
I was gonna wait to bring this up later, but you've already mentioned it a couple of times already. So let me go on and jump right in. Tell us, when you say Joey and Rev, when you say that, who are you talking about? And you and I have this in common, by the way.
Joey's Run DMC. He's Rev Run. He's your brother's friend. They hang out. Him and your brother. I was at a Run DMC concert a couple years ago, and Tyrese was sitting right behind me. I was like, "Damn, what's up, baby?" And
so you and I have this in common. We both have celebrity family.
Yeah, and so I started an art foundation in 1995. Where Reverend and Run DMC gave a concert, and all the proceeds went to start this foundation. And now we're approaching 28 years of the Rush.
Wow!
And we've been that's awesome. And teaching kids for 28 years, teaching kids art and giving art shows for emerging artists for 28 years.
So they have been supportive over the years of your artwork and your campaigns and what you've been doing.
Oh, big time, especially Russell. Russell was the chairman of the board for quite a while, for at least 22 years of that. And his celebrity friends and rich people that he knew supported us. So we ended up having 2 galleries in New York and 1 in Philadelphia. And now we just have the 1 in Philadelphia, but the 1 in Philadelphia has 2 galleries. And I'm here and I'm running it. And, we have all kinds of shows going on. We have kids programs on Saturdays. We have all kinds of poetry readings, whatever comes up. But mostly it's about emerging artists and teaching kids art on Saturday mornings.
So do you still personally paint today? Do you still personally?
Like this morning, I just washed before I got on this. I had red paint all over my hands. I had to wash turpentine, get my hands clean. I didn't want y'all to think I killed nobody if I put my hands up and all red paint off my hands. I paint every day. I have art show up now in Houston, since we in Texas, at the Houston Museum for African American Culture, and that'll be up through the end of December. And then that show comes to New York to a place called the Hudson Guild Art Gallery, and then I believe it is traveling from there to Maryland to the David Driscoll Center.
Right.
I also have another show coming up in Pittsburgh at the August Wilson Center. I paint all the time. I probably paint 5 days out of the week. That's my job.
That's awesome. So it's not just, it's a lifestyle for you.
Oh yeah. I mean, art is everything about, my whole life is about art. I mean, you know, I live, drink, and smoke it. It's what I do. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I went to bed, usually having spent a couple of hours that night working on a painting. I get up and take care of my dog, and then I go back in the studio. And especially now that, you know, we're sort of still semi social distancing, I've spent more time in my studio than I ever have, because, you know, there's nothing to do outside really without risk. And even though I'm vaccinated, I still feel uncomfortable in large crowds and going to concerts and things like that. Matter of fact, I just got my booster shot, so I feel a little more confident. But but I've enjoyed.
And can I ask you this? What was art like during the pandemic? Tell us what that was like during the pandemic.
For us, we had to set up ways to continue to bring the community art, even though people couldn't come to the gallery. So we did a number of things. We changed our classes from in the gallery classes to art classes online, which was great, really, because now we were able to engage people all over the country and actually all over the world. We're doing a program right now online with kids in Jamaica, West Indies. So, so we've expanded our reach because of the pandemic. We've done a number of virtual gallery receptions where people come. We have artists virtually take you through their art studios so you can look and see what they're doing. And we put up the artists of the week. And so we found ways to keep people engaged with art during the pandemic. So the last year and a half has been thinking of innovative ways to do this. So we've had concerts in the gallery that we film and live stream, and, you know, all kinds of stuff just to keep the work, just keep it going.
Right. And I agree with you on this. The pandemic was something else. Now, don't get me wrong. It was something else. It was very interesting. It was very different for our whole entire world. But
still is.
But I mean, God, we have social media, networking outlets. Thank God we have people like yourself, myself, that continue to expand by, you know, keeping things going. We gotta find a way. We gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? It's just like,
you go and watch Netflix all day now. You can watch it for a little while, but you can't sit home and watch TV all day. You got to do something. You got to get back into your life and get back into this new way of doing things. And I don't think it's ever going to go back to what it was. I think it's going to be a combination more of things like this, virtual things, and live things. As the pandemic closes, more people get vaccinated, and there's less risk out there. But we found that there's ways like to connect through the internet that we're utilizing before. Like, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on now. Our brothers have met each other and know each other personally, but this is our first time coming down each other's pipeline, and it's because of social media. It's because of networking. It's because we are, you know, talking to others and pushing our brands and all of that stuff. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me.
Connecting people like, you know, my man Ricky Jason, filmmaker and social activist, connected me to Free, and Free connected me to you. And so, you know, all of this is important, that we can extend our family and our connection through social media. And there might be people that you deeply care about that you've never met, but you talk to them every day on social media. You know what's going on in their lives. They know what's going on in your life. They might be halfway across the world, but you know,
Right,
they've been
right.
important to you. So I mean,
I have a question for you, and this is a very interesting question.
sure.
It says that you are under the title philanthropist. What is that? Tell us what that is.
You know, I think when they use it to describe me, is being socially involved with people and trying to help improve their lives. For some people, it means donating money. Others, it means donating
Mhm.
time and effort. Um, since I ain't got
Okay.
all that much money, I donate my time. I'm sitting on boards of directors to increase the presence of African Americans and women and people who have been excluded from museums and performance places. So I've done that for many, many years. I was the chairman of the state Arts Council, which gave out
Okay.
$50 million a year, and I made sure that small groups and minority groups got money. So it's really philanthropist is the act of giving. However you give, it doesn't necessarily mean that you give cash all the time.
And also I would almost, say that you have a trust with certain people. People trust you. People know that when you say, "Hey, that this is going to happen," it happens.
Oh yeah, well,
And
generally, I
that's
mean,
what
if
it is
I have
too, right?
control over things, I'm sure there are things that I can think of that we thought were going to happen didn't happen for various reasons. But you know, if I said something's going to happen, I put my all into it to make sure
Right.
it happens. You know, so
My
yeah,
word is bond, and that doesn't happen a lot, and that can only be placed on specific people, that position and title and role. You know what I mean?
well, I
So
understand that, and you know, I've been blessed to be able to connect with people and make things happen, like with deaf poetry. I mean, deaf poetry was basically my idea and a brother named Bruce George, and I had the connection through Russell, and Russell had the connection through Stan Lathan and HBO from Def Comedy,
that's awesome.
and so I made deaf poetry happen as an
That's
example.
amazing.
And that impacted our whole world. That show impacted our whole world. And then we took it to Broadway and we got a Tony Award for it. And, you know, and none of that would have happened. So when I did that, it increased my capital to people. It's like,
Right.
oh, wow, you did that? Yeah, I did that. And they said, well, you know, if he can do that, he can do this. So, you know, we're doing all types of things. I just had an album come out with the jazz musician, the great jazz musician Ron Carter, and
Okay.
Blue Note Records produced it, and it's out on Blue Note Records called the Brown Beatniks. And so it's him and his trio playing, and me and a couple other poets on this CD. And I made that happen. Me and a couple.
Where can we find that CD at? Where can
Go
we
to
find it?
Amazon, go to anywhere. It's a big album. It's not underground at all. It's on Blue
Okay.
Note Records, which is the biggest jazz label. Just put in Danny Simmons, Blue Note Records, and you boom. And it has my artwork on the cover, and it's my poetry. It's really a nice piece of thing, and I'm very grateful to
I
Blue
will
Note.
make sure after our interview that I go in and support. I'll go and buy.
Thank you. Please do. But you can
Definitely.
listen to a couple of the tracks on YouTube. So you know you might play one of those and put it into the show later on or something like that. You know.
Okay. And you're also an author. How many books have you written? And give us some of the titles.
I've written one novel. Then I wrote the story of deaf poetry, and I've written 4, and now coming up on 5 books of poetry. So that all have been
Wow.
and one comic book called 85.
Comic.
85 is a takeoff on the novel. So I rewrote the novel into comic book form, and it was published. And so if you go online and you look for Danny Simmons 85, you can get the comic book. It's about 1985 in New York City, and Basquiat's in it, and Keith Haring, and all those people that were important to the arts back in the day take a role in this. And it's about a brother from Brooklyn who falls into that world.
That's amazing. I just think you're brilliant. I'm an author as well of about mm, 12 or 13 books.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I'm impressed with you as well. Like I love because I know what that takes. I know what it takes to put what's in here, you know what I'm saying, onto paper, and then take what's onto paper and put it out to the world. I know what that takes. It's not an easy process. You know what I mean?
You have to have a lot of
So,
trust and faith to do that, because you're putting yourself. It's coming from you, so you're putting yourself out there in the world, and
right.
that people will accept what you put out and enjoy it, and then ultimately buy it too. So
Exactly, right. And then to believe in what you're saying enough
right,
to put their dollar behind it. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother
that's a whole nother.
level. you know. So I just admire you. I think you're brilliant. I think you're amazing. You're also a poet, you're a philanthropist, a painter,
Mhm.
everything. And you know what was so amazing. I'm gonna show my babies this interview later because they're you. They
Great.
are you. And I have a set of twins here at the house.
Oh,
Um,
how old are your twins?
they're 9 years old.
Okay, all right.
Um,
They're little
yeah,
people.
you though. They're one is going around the house dancing and hitting, she flipping, and one is it's just amazing to watch them daily. But what I don't want to do is like I want to make sure I cultivate their creativity. You understand? I want to make sure that I somehow facilitate whatever they need, for it to land somewhere. I need their creativity to land somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what my
So
parents did. My father was he had a job as a teacher, and my mother was a teacher also. But they cultivated us with
yep.
art and poetry and all this, and it rubbed off. And my father actually wrote a bunch of Run DMC songs. So, you know,
Same with us. My dad is a producer. He plays piano. He played drums. Tyrese is a drummer too. Tyrese is a drummer.
all right, all right.
Yeah, all of that stuff. He ended up becoming a writer later on, and a successful singer, and but my dad used to set his band, his whole band up at the house, and they
Mhm.
would rehearse, and we saw the mic stands go up, and Tyrese was running around in a diaper at the moment.
It's important that parents encourage their kids to express themselves. Don't so many parents don't want afraid for their kids to go into the arts because they don't think there's any money in it. Oh well,
Hmm.
not everybody's cut out to have a 9 to 5. So where
Right.
would the world be without artists and writers and poets? And somebody got to do it. So if your kids want to go that way, help them, encourage them.
Exactly. 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 Do you have any of your books handy that you can show us?
I'm sitting in the kitchen right now.
Oh, okay. Don't worry, because I'm gonna definitely show mine on this interview. I'm gonna definitely show mine and put mine, in the front of the. This is my
Ain't nobody tell me I'd have had them sitting right here.
right. Right. Look, we go. This ain't gonna be our last time getting together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen, I took that flu shot yesterday. I'm really starting to feel a little. So I think I'm gonna go lay down in a minute, man. So can we
Yeah,
let's wrap?
yeah, yeah, definitely. But give us your whatever you want to say as your final
Well,
words during this interview.
I'm sorry to cut it short. I just started not really feeling good.
You're
Um,
fine.
I really hope that if you're in the Houston area to go see my exhibition, at the Houston Museum of African American Culture. It's me and a brother named Tafa, an African brother, and I have a whole floor and he has a whole floor. And it's a great exhibition. I was supposed to come down, but COVID prevented me from flying. And it's been up for a month and a half. And it'll be up for another month. So if you're in that area, please stop in and make sure you look me up on social media. I'm just on Facebook. My gallery has a Danny Simmons page on Instagram. So some of my stuff. But if you want to follow me on Facebook.
And we put you, I know just us promoting this interview alone, we put you everywhere. So we're going to definitely, now that we have the actual physical interview, this will be posted in so many different areas. Let's definitely stay in touch. I pray that you feel better. And
so my nose is running. But
thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to give us this exclusive moment. And shoot, keep putting that art out on the world. Keep putting that that good stuff.
After we finish with this poetry contest, and I just maybe we could have the young poet, myself, and you, and Free on together to talk about what it means.
Yes,
that would be fun.
Definitely, always consider me for anything that you have coming up that's promotional. So if you have things that are coming up that you want to talk about, put out there, promote, please always consider this podcast as a place to go to for those type of needs. Okay,
will do. All right, guys. All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Oh my God, that was dope. That was dope, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, I've been kind of feeling, in the dumps lately a little bit, but God is good. And that was a great way to recover, if you know what I mean. Danny Simmons is a great guy. I love his vibe, his energy, all the things that he has contributed to the world in the past 30 years. He's, also related to loyalty, if you know what I mean, with Russell Simmons and, all that, the Simmons family. Oh my God. Wow. And I know what that's like because of who I'm tied to and related to. And thank you, Free, so much for setting up this exclusive. I appreciate your energy and time. And please, you guys, please consider donating to the Lily Mae, I can't get my words right, Lily Mae Wren Foundation, and they have an upcoming event. Danny Simmons is going to be a judge on that event, and you want to be a part of that. And just don't wait to be a part of something phenomenal and great, until it's out. You can do it today. Like you can donate. You can put your coins toward a good cause. They got some big things coming up. So, and they're really, really, really trying to bless people's lives, in a big way. So that's why Danny is going to be a part of this major event coming up. And my manager, if you want to find out more information about this event, please hit up Lily Mae Wren Foundation, the one that's on this live podcast, and she will direct you on what you have to do to be a part of that and promote, for a good cause. All right. So hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. I'm going to go lay down like he said. This is my nap time, honey. My time to get in here and rest my nerves. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was a great interview. I really enjoyed this moment. Thank y'all for supporting also the Queen G Live experience like you do, sharing all my shows, being here for me in support of my products, my books, all of that stuff. I really, really, really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. God bless you. See you next time. I'm out of here.